Hey there, everybody. It's Cycling is My Whole Life, aka Uncle Monkey, uh, here playing Super Mario Brothers Part 3. I had this game as a kid on my regular Nintendo Entertainment System, standard 8-bit NES, one of my favorite games. I used to play this a lot. Uh, got really good at it for a while, then just kind of stopped playing it. Moving on to bigger, better things. Not that there's really much else, but it took me a while to figure that out. So here's level 1, world 1. I'm going to do these in world sections. So this is going to be world 1, and then I'm going to do world 2 and world 3 and so on and so forth. So this is world number 1. Here we go. Alright, normally what I like to do is I like to just beat the levels as fast as humanly possible. That usually takes me about 6 or 7 seconds per level, at least by the timer that's on the screen. But I thought I'd do something a little bit different this time, since this is more for entertainment. This is more for my niece and my nephew to watch, and I think what I'm gonna go do is I'm gonna go through each level and actually collect coins. Not all of them; that would take way too long. But I'm gonna collect coins, go through the warp zones, and really just leave just most of the meat in there. Like this part here, getting coins. Not really necessary, but for me, it's just it's just part of the experience. So here I took out that fire shooting plant, fire flower, I guess. No, firefly is what you pick up. Anyway, so that took out the plant there, left that in, like the parts where I didn't get the flying part in, left that in. Not to say that I'm not gonna go back one day and make maybe a super fast speed run of my own, but just for now. Just gonna play the game just regular, without trying to optimize everything. Kind of leaves the human aspect into it rather than trying to be perfect. This time around, I'm running a different emulator. I'm running I'm running it through a different system, and it seems to work a little bit better. The jumps are a little bit slower than I'm used to, so sometimes you'll see that I run off the edge by accident rather than make the jump. But I think it works a little bit better. Of course, the save states and the load states are going to be a little bit more choppy. You'll be able to hear them, but you won't be able to see them. As far as the state, load, and save state, you won't be able to see the excuse me, the text there on the top left. So this time around, like I said, using a different emulator. Actually, I think it kind of works better. It's a little bit easier for me to use. It's a little, thankfully, even though it's a little bit more time consuming, this game is a little bit easier because I can actually do it by the level rather than doing it with like extremely long levels like in Double Dragon. Those levels are long, required lots of fights. You saw me there jumping. That was because it was difficult to time the jump. Like I said, this program doesn't run as smoothly as playing it on the regular Nintendo Entertainment System. As much as I would love to do that, that would be way too time consuming to actually do it that way. So, this is the best of both worlds. This is the best that I'm going to be able to produce, at least for now. Maybe later, if I get a little bit more updated equipment, I'll be able to run it a little bit better. So anyway, back to the game here a little bit more. Alright. So the mushroom houses, I always used to have this thing. Actually, me and my brother used to have this thing where we would not really know which treasure chest to choose, and we would always ask our sister to help us choose a treasure chest, and we would tell her what we wanted. So if we wanted like a fire flower or a leaf, we'd say, hey, we want this. And ironically enough, actually, she could guess it right most of the time. And if we wanted something like a mushroom, which we would never ask for, but after a while we just wanted to test her powers, we would just ask for a mushroom and say, hey, we want a mushroom. And she would say, hey, pick the last one, or pick the middle one, or pick the first one. And wow, it actually worked probably about 90% of the time. I mean, yeah, nothing's 100% exact, but still, it's impressive that she even got it correct more than 50% of the time. That's very cool. I'm already seeing a little trend here that I got 8 lives. I'm pretty sure by the end of the speed run, by the end of the playthrough, I'm gonna have probably about 100 lives, if not even sooner, maybe even halfway through the game. One of the things that's really nice about the save state and load state option is that you pretty much don't lose any lives, so it's going to be accumulating lives pretty quickly here. Usually I don't like to let myself get hit, and especially when I'm playing on a different system, I never really get hit, and it's actually very difficult for me to accept the fact that I actually got hurt. And like I said, if I was playing this on the regular Nintendo, I would just have to accept the fact. So here I am accepting the fact that I actually got hurt, and I'm okay with that. It's just going to be part of the game. This is how it goes. As a kid, I always called those little rotating things, I always call them oxy pads, like from the facial cleansing pads to fight against acne. And because they're circular and they have that waffle kind of pattern, and whenever you'd wipe your face with them, they'd really, really burn. Of course, if they hit you, they hurt you. So kind of like the same concept there. Here, I kind of wanted to let him kind of like do his thing, run around. But then he shrunk me, so then I decided against it because I was afraid that he was actually going to kill me. So I didn't actually let him do his thing there. The Hammer Brothers. One of my actual favorite parts of this game, and the main reason why is just because it almost requires no skill to beat them, but it kind of does. And it's actually kind of fun just to like almost do it as fast as you possibly can, but also like, make sure you don't get hurt. It just adds to the fun. Right here, obviously I'm not going to be a mind reader, especially when it comes to card games and memory games. Yeah, I just got 2 stars. I got 2 life cards. I got 2 fire flowers. I got 2 10 coins. And I got 2 stars. Pretty coincidental? No, not really. I went through and probably tried it about 10 or 15 times, and then I learned where all the cards were. And then I just put it through. I left that mistake in because after I learned that mistake, I knew where the 2 last bonuses were, so I just went ahead and got them. Pretty simple. So when you hear those little glitches, when you see the little like fade out, that's when I did the load state or the save state. And it's not super discreet, but I'm not really worried about it. This is more for the gameplay than it is for how I got there. So, to tell you the truth, I don't think I've ever been through the bottom of this stage. Either I always climb through the top, or I end up taking this cloud route. And to tell you the truth, I can't tell you that I could ever remember actually going through the bottom of the stage. It's one of those things where it just makes me, I guess, kind of sad, because I have these games and I played these games since childhood, and I don't really know them very well. A lot of the times I would just get the warp whistle in the castle or stage 3, and I would just really much blaze through the game. And even for a short time, I was beating it in under 20 minutes. I mean, I was getting really good at beating it quickly, and really, I just kind of, I don't know, I just kind of skipped a lot of the game, and I really wasn't a big fan of doing that as I got older. And then when I met my brother-in-law, he saw that I had this game, and we were playing it, and I was sitting there getting the warp whistles, and he's like, "Hey, why don't we just beat it all the way through the correct way?" And he just kind of like boggled my mind. I'm like, why would we beat it the correct way? It's just like, isn't it just to beat it as fast as possible? But no, really, it isn't. So it's still really hard for me, especially here. Like, I just flew over the top of that stage. Really didn't get to see pretty much any of the stage. It's really hard for me to actually stop and actually play these levels. But especially after watching this one, I'm going to try to do my best on the second world to actually play through the levels rather than just skip through them like through the top as I did earlier, flying through them. Now some of these levels I'm actually so bad at because I haven't played them probably through the full extent that, yeah, I'm going to probably be flying through some of them. So what I'm going to try to do is do my best not to do that. I'm going to actually try to play each level all the way through, try to, like I said, collect the coins and go through the warp zones or the warp pipes. It's just kind of difficult for me because it's just something that I'm definitely not used to. So here Toad is pretty upset. The king was transformed into a puppy. It's my job to get his wand, his magic wand, to save him and turn him back. When I was a kid, I used to play this on the Nintendo, and a friend of mine used to have a Game Genie. And I remember when you play with the Game Genie, it's like the game actually recognized that you were playing with a Game Genie, and instead of Toad telling you something along the lines of, "Hey, you know, our king needs help," from what I remember, the Game Genie would actually say, "Hey, you cheater," or it would just give you messages about how you're you're just basically cheating, and it was kind of funny. Right here, I had to get my 100 points. Shout out to my brother. That's something he would always say, and he would always do there at the last bit. Just jump on that last bullet and say, "My 100 points." So here we go. First Koopa, or first child of Koopa, just jumps around and with the magic wand shoots circular rings. Another thing is, in childhood, we would always yell as far as falling, because they would be like, "Oh, we're falling." We're like, "Whoa!" We basically, you know, say "whoa" the whole time that Mario was falling. That was always our fun, what we did there. All right, this is the end of World 1, and I got the Super P.